Oh, hi there! I released a video on Shrek Lost Media not too long ago, and since there has been an explosion of discoveries concerning the early days of Shrek's rocky development. I've held off on making this video for a bit, but now that new discoveries aren't being made every single day, now seems like a good time for an update. I'm gonna expand on some information I covered in my previous video just so we're all up to speed and have a complete picture of the search and everything that's been found. I just want to remind people not to contact any of the animators I mentioned in this video. They've all been reached out to already, so no need to bombard their DMs. Chris Farley was originally cast as Shrek, but passed away in 1997, having recorded most of his lines, all of which were scrapped and replaced by Mike Myers. The movie ended up being completely computer animated, but before Farley's death, a group of animators called the Propeller Heads experimented with a combination of motion capture and CGI. They made a short test in this art style, presenting it to DreamWorks co-founder Jeffrey Katzenberg in May of 1997. This test has become infamous for being so atrocious, an entire animation team was fired, and the art style was scrapped. And in the 25 years since its screening, this footage has become a fabled part of the Shrek mythos. The very first description of the test animation comes from Nicole Lepore's 2010 book, The Men Who Would Be King, documenting the rise of DreamWorks. In the test, Shrek was cartoony and exaggerated. When a bandit jumps down in front of him as he enters the castle gates, he picks him up and strangles him the way Homer Simpson might throttle Bart. As his grip bears down, his cheeks blow up Dizzy Gillespie style, and he turns a deep shade of purple. Even though this generated interest in the test, nothing really came of it. Our next big break wouldn't come until 2014 when two listings were discovered, one on eBay and another on WorthPoint. The eBay listing was for a collection of clay models made to help animators create the Lost test animation. This listing gives a summary of the test that echoes Nicole Lepore's description, but it turns out Nicole left out some of the best details. The animation ends with the bandit being flung into the night sky, and throughout, Shrek is singing the James Brown classic, I Feel Good. But this listing would contain an even greater discovery. Among the pictures of the clay models that were for sale were 6 screenshots. Our very first look at the long-lost 1997 Shrek test animation. And the only word that comes to mind is ghastly. These 6 images showed us the version of Shrek that we were spared, this sleep paralysis demon version of Shrek. The WorthPoint listing, while not providing us with any new images, gave us previously unknown details about the test. The listing, posted by animator Tim Lawrence II, who passed away in 2019, was for a collection of pre-production materials that included the legendary test footage. Tim describes the test as 45 seconds and silent. Chris Farley's audio was removed after his death, but you can still lip read him at the end saying, "Bite me." This makes me wonder if Farley's audio was removed from all copies of the test, making it permanently lost. A sad thing to think about. But other tapes in the listing do include 5 minutes of Farley's audio as Shrek. The buyer of the listing has never come forward or posted their treasures online, but now we had a few images and confirmation that a copy does still exist. Fast forward to 2017, the YouTube channel Uncle Sporkums found the 1997 test animations storyboards for sale online. He posted them to YouTube and went so far as to voice the entire storyboard. But surprisingly, they don't include the line "bite me" as described in the WorthPoint listing, so maybe this line was improvised by Chris Farley. Uncle Sporkums' rendition is about 2.5 minutes. Again, very different from the WorthPoint listing that describes it as 45 seconds, implying that the scene was trimmed for the test. For the next 5 years, this is where the search would stay. A few storyboards, 6 stills, and a brief description. And this might have been where it would have sat for years to come if it wasn't for a completely different piece of Shrek Lost Media. In February 2020, YouTuber Kenny Lauderdale tweeted a Shrek HP camera meme that comes from what some believe to be a lost Shrek commercial. The tweet went viral, and in its wake, a few videos were made on the topic, culminating in Blame It on Jorge covering the lost Shrek commercial. With an unprecedented number of eyes on the case, an obsession grew that would reach a fever pitch on July 30th, 2022, when Lost Media Wiki user Dingle Manboy found our very first video of the Shrek test animation. The following day, he made his findings public on his YouTube channel, Doofus Manboy. He found the clip in an animation reel of former DreamWorks employee Onder J.L. Beer on his Vimeo account under the title Giant Reel. Early on in the video is a collage of various animations that he worked on, and in the mix is a high-definition clip of the mythical test animation. The video had been sitting online since 2015, just waiting for someone to find it. But there are a few issues you might have noticed. The footage is sped up, roughly a quarter of the video is covered by a another video, it has no original audio, and when slowed down, it's missing many frames. But this video would give us 31 frames that we didn't have before. In addition to containing our first real look at the footage, the clip ends with rigging animations for both Shrek and the bandit's facial features. Surprisingly, it sounds like someone in my audience might have actually seen this video before. Brianna Imagination commented on my previous Shrek video, giving a description of what she remembered seeing in the 2010s, which is shockingly similar to this newly discovered footage, so the entire video might still be online somewhere. With our first look at the long-lost test footage, thanks to the efforts of Doofus Manboy, the search would explode. Following the discovery, two Reddit users, Accomplished World 823 and Hotter Cooler, poured themselves into the case. On August 9th, Accomplished World 823 posted Doofus Manboy's recently found clip to Reddit, and in the comments of this post, Accomplished World and Hotter Cooler would meet and get to work. They began by looking through the credits of the original Shrek, finding the category Los Angeles Pre-Production. Assuming that these employees would have worked on the Chris Farley version of Shrek, they searched each name on the list, hoping to find a website, portfolio, YouTube channel, or any animation reels they may have posted. After searching every single name on the list, exhausting all other animators, they tried one more, and they were not disappointed. On August 14th, 2022, Accomplished World 823 posted their findings to Reddit. 9 unobstructed seconds of the test footage. The animator in question was the lead of the Propeller Heads, Lauren Soman, sourcing the clips from both his Vimeo and YouTube accounts. And these clips were even older than the last, posted in 2010 and 2011. These newly found clips were posted to the YouTube channel, The Secret Life of Aliens, that would go on to post another great find, a video of clay models from Shrek's early development on the Hester's Studio website. Doofus Manboy would return on August 15th with storyboards for an alternate version of the Hallelujah scene and storyboards for a cut tavern scene a few days later. On August 16th, Reddit user TN05 posted early Shrek animations from the YouTube channel of animator Corey James Comstock. And once you get past the fact that, yeah, Shrek's ballin', you might notice that among these clips is a never before heard Chris Farley Shrek performance.
No! I'm an ogre! Doesn't that bother you at all?
Based on the comments of the video, Corey does have more of the audio from Chris Farley's time as Shrek, so maybe he'll post them someday. On August 28th, 2022, Redditor Mr. Fruit posted a full-color version of the movie's early logo that we previously only had a black and white version of. That same day, Reddit user Bergenstein55 posted more concept art and early models from Christian Boyer's website. Among them were an early walking animation for Donkey, the very first time a Shrek character was actually moving, a facial animation test for Donkey using a 3D model from the movie Spirit as a stand-in, and in the comments of this Reddit post, user Curved Infinite 5671 uncovered more models during the movie's early stages, including characters from the book that we don't see in any of the movies. I know, I just threw a lot at you, so let's recap to see what we have, what else there is to find, and I'll give my own thoughts and theories. Here's what we found. Additional storyboards, roughly 28 seconds of the test animation, some partially obscured at a terrible frame rate with no sound, facial rigging for the Bandit and Shrek, early models and animations, a new voice clip from Chris Farley, the movie's early logo, and the various discoveries on Christian Boyer's website. Clearly there is so much more to find of Chris Farley's performance as Shrek. We only have a few minutes of audio from a nearly completed 1.5 hour long movie. And of course, just like any animated movie, there are definitely more models and animations to be found. But the big one is that we have 28 seconds of the 1997 test animation that's theorized to be about 2.5 minutes in total. But I have a theory on this. I believe that the sped up and partially obscured video is the complete lost test animation, albeit at a terrible frame rate. If we look back at the 2014 Worth Point listing by Tim Lawrence II, he says that the test is 45 seconds long. I believe that this means the actual test is 30 seconds long, and the remaining 15 seconds are the rigging animations we see at the end of the video. I think this is further backed up because the sections from the storyboard that are missing from the test footage all come from dialogue-heavy sections in the middle. It seems strange that the animator who posted the sped up footage would cut just the middle part out. It seems more likely that this section was just cut entirely when the test was made. If my theory is true, we're really just searching for the remaining frames not present in the sped up footage, along with Chris Farley's original audio for the test that may have been deleted from all copies. That's where the search stands today. We are so close. I hope this is the final push that we need to uncover the entire video, and maybe even more of Chris Farley's time as Shrek. Let me know if I missed something and what you think of my theory. Also, since making my last Shrek video, a new piece of Shrek Lost Media popped up on the Lost Media wiki. It's this really goofy event involving an inflatable donkey and Formula 1 racing. I don't know if it's too out there to cover or if it's so ridiculous I need to talk about it. So let me know if you want it in the comments. Shout out to my amazing Patreon supporters, including my top tier patrons, Edgar Vega, MD the Dude, Miss Dana, Odesta Honeycrisp, Vinny Cataldo, and the Glumpiest of Glumps. And thank you to everyone who helped the channel get to 100,000 subscribers. I really cannot tell you how much this means to me. This is Mike with All Things Lost. See you soon.